Welcome to In the Kitchen with Miss Darlin. I'm Miss Darlin from Dolce Darlin Bakery, and this is the extended version. Okay, so we talked briefly about how you can help your helpers help you with a special question. We have a question?
I think it's about done. How do I take the stress out of cooking for a crowd? Part 2.
Okay, so how do you take the stress out of cooking for a crowd? What are you cooking for a crowd for? What are some events, some happenings that would come up that you'd be cooking for a bunch of people?
Family get together.
Family get together like Thanksgiving, Christmas, big birthdays.
Graduations.
Promotions, Sunday supper, all
Weddings.
kinds of things. Church dinners. There's a ton of stuff that you might be cooking for a great big amount of people for. And we want to make that as easy as possible because for me, while I do work in the kitchen regularly, when I'm cooking for my family or friends, I want it to be more of a relaxed, social, fun experience, right?
Right.
And I like when you help because then you can run and get me things. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna talk about mashed potatoes first because I wanna show you how you can set up your recipes so that your helpers can help you. Because what were you raised to ask?
How can I help?
How can I help? So when you go into somebody's kitchen, they might hand you a drink, you might have a little visit, but the first thing you're probably gonna say is, what can I do? So we wanna be good helpers. So what you can do is set your helpers up to be successful, yes?
Yes, because
right.
a good helper does not ask a lot of questions. They just
Yes.
do.
But when you get a good helper in your kitchen, they don't know where stuff is. They don't know what your recipe for this is. They may or may not put in a thing or two that you would put in. And so, you know,
Like when you don't put in butter in mashed potatoes.
butter. If my grandma said,
If it ain't yellow, it wrong.
if they ain't yellow, they're wrong. So you should have so much butter in mashed potatoes that they should be yellow. So, you know, heart feelings aside about that. So let's put in a bag of potatoes. Let's get them on a tray. Let's grab the milk. We know we need milk for this. Butter. Let's put that on the tray with our sour cream, salt, and pepper. All right. So this is enough to get your helpers started. But if you want to go above and beyond, you could give them a recipe card. And it can go right onto the tray with everything else. Then as they're going, they don't have to ask you, how many potatoes do you want me to peel? How much milk do you want me to put in? How much sour cream? How much butter? Or whatever. So they're going to have all the tools that they need.
And directions too. That way if
And
you've never made it
directions.
before, you have a new helper or maybe a kid who's wanting to help out in the kitchen, you have all the steps.
Absolutely. So then they don't have to ask a lot of questions, right?
Yes.
You can go one step further if you have the space. Well, and you might ask yourself, what do I do with this tray until we need it? Well, a couple things. It's got cold ingredients in it, so we could stick it right back in the refrigerator just like it is. It's all right if there's a whole bag of potatoes in the refrigerator. It's not gonna hurt nobody. But if it's gonna be ready soon, you just leave it out on the counter, and you could go so far as to do your sweet potato casserole on a whole other tray. So you need your sweet potatoes, or your yams, whichever you use, your mini marshmallows, because it is not sweet potato casserole without mini marshmallows. That's not
It's
your...
not sweet, it's just potatoes.
Brown sugar, all the things that you need, just put them on your tray. They're all set up and ready to go. So you can go one step further if you want to just answer all the questions before they're questions. And further, let me back up for 2 seconds and say, if you're cooking by yourself, this is going to be really helpful for your prep work as well.
Time for potatoes, pull it all out, one thing, and put it all away. Help save a little Tennessee tornado going through your kitchen.
That's right. That's me. I'm the Tennessee tornado. I make way more of a mess than one person should make in a kitchen. So I admit it, it happened.
You can also get your tools out too as well.
You can get your tools out for them as well. You can set, or for yourself. I know some people that do not want help in the kitchen for big holidays. I want all the help that anybody's gonna ever give me. But some people just wanna do it on their own. If you are that person and you wanna do it on your own, or you wanna make sure that you just have everything ready to go, you can actually get the bowl you're gonna put your chopped potatoes in, your measurements for your sour cream and milk. You can put your mashing tool in there. Now we talked about this with the folks back here, the lovely people that are filming who, you know, obviously we do none of this without. And there was a different range of what we call, what do you call them?
I call them mashed potatoes.
I call them smashed potatoes. Lauren, what do you call them?
Whipped potatoes.
Whipped potatoes, because you put them in the mixer. I feel like I put in too much cream to put them in.
Ours would kind of turn into a sauce.
They would get a little, Gary, who loves to be on camera. What do you call them? Mashed potatoes. And Ben, what about you? What do you call them?
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes. Okay, so I feel like I mean,
Got a variety.
all kinds of kinds though. But when you set this up this way, you're gonna make it so that it doesn't matter whether they're whipped, smashed, mashed, pulverized, whatever. Whoever is helping you is gonna be totally successful and you are gonna get your prep work done quickly. I hope this helps when it comes to cooking for crowds and it cuts down on a little bit of the guesswork and questions and stress.
I'm feeling some potatoes now.
Are you? We'll make smashed potatoes after this.
I got my tray already.
Smashed potatoes for lunch. Does that sound good?
Actually does.
All right, we're gonna do a part 2 for how we can take the stress out of cooking for a crowd. So we hope you'll join us for that. And until then, take care of yourselves and each other.